Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm John Gray, and we're just playing Living Here in the Pumpkin Patch.
Bless you. Peggy Burton, good morning.
And I'm Jim Fuller.
In the pumpkin patch.
In the pumpkin patch.
You're waiting
Yes.
for the great pumpkin, right?
Yeah. He
You and
shows
Charlie
up.
Brown?
He shows up sometimes. I just hope a pirate comes.
You are always talking pirates.
I want to be a pirate. I think I'd like to be a pirate.
And
Johnny Depp made me want to be a
I
pirate.
know, Johnny Depp is something. And sail the seven seas.
Sail the seven seas. Arr, mateys.
Yeah.
Get a wooden leg.
Wouldn't that be
I saw a
something?
thing the other day. You talk about just for a second. I was watching Pawn Stars. I love that show. And there was a person brought
Is that the one that's done in Las
Las
Vegas?
Vegas.
Yeah, okay, I know which one.
This
you're talking
person
Fun.
brought a wooden leg in with a pistol in it, in the bottom of it. And there was a piece of wire running up the side of it where the guy could, and with a hook on it, and he could raise his leg up and pull
shoot
that
somebody.
and shoot somebody.
Oh my goodness.
And they didn't know whether it was real or not real, so they always have a specialist that no matter
Yeah.
what they're looking at, books, toys, whatever, they just let me call my buddy. You know, I guess Vegas is full of those kind of people, or it might be a staged TV show. You never can tell.
That's true.
But they go in there and he looks and says, well, they didn't know whether it was just a fake deal, but the barrel was rifled. So they wouldn't take, if it was going to be a piece that was used in a movie or something like
Yeah.
that, they wouldn't go to the problem to rifle the barrel. And so they took it out and shot it and everything. The guy got about $6,000 for that leg.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
want to be a pirate.
I want to know the man that had the leg.
Huh?
I'd like to know the man that owned the leg
He's
originally.
bad to the bone, I'd say.
All the way.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So how are you?
I'm good.
What you got happening?
I always figure every time I get up and I'm alive and walking, I'm doing great.
Yeah, that's
True.
wonderful.
That's true.
That's good news.
That's wonderful. What about you, Jimbo? You good?
Oh, just wonderful. Yeah, absolutely.
Football season, everybody's playing
Everybody's
football.
playing
Yeah, it
football.
is.
Football.
Who was it made the great long run? I know it was a big deal. Peyton Manning made some comedy out of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it was Drew Brees.
Drew
with the
Brees,
New
yeah.
Orleans Saints. I think he passed
He passed Peyton.
Peyton
passed
last
his-
night in
his,
all-time yards.
All-time yards.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And he's one touchdown. There's three of them. There's Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and number 4.
Don't know. Don't ask me.
Oh, the cheesehead.
Oh, yeah.
See,
yeah.
here we go.
Okay, I
Here
know.
we go. Let's have some youth out there
Let's
helping
have
us
Paul
answer these
Blackwell. He'll
questions.
know.
Brett Favre. They're
Thanks,
the
Paul.
only.
I knew he'd know
They're the
that.
only 3 people
He
that have
knows everything.
thrown 500 touchdowns.
Right.
And last night, Breeze got to 499.
Wow.
And so they kept him in for a little while to see if he could break both records in the same game, but
Wouldn't that have been something?
he didn't, and they didn't want to get him hurt because you don't want to get that guy hurt.
Yeah.
He's too good. But yeah, it's all kinds of things.
I-
Tullahoma's not playing this week. They beat Nolensville last week, or week before last week they beat Lawrence County. So our kids are out of school this week taking a break.
Everybody's off having a good time.
A lot of
And
folks.
they're
a lot of
7-1
folks
on the year so
7-1,
far. 7-1,
yeah.
And am I correct? They secured a home playoff.
Home
game.
playoff game.
Right.
So that's
been
great.
great
That's great.
this
It's been a
year.
long time several years since we've been in that situation.
I noticed, of course, we do the John Otto Fifth Quarter show here on this channel.
Right.
And John was talking with John prior to that show, and John was just not happy with his offense from the
No, they
night
didn't play
before.
they played Lawrence.
And they actually won the game, what, 28-6?
They
But-
seemed
31
like they
to
did
31 to 6, I believe.
Yeah,
31
okay.
to 3. 6,
Okay.
yeah, 31 to 6. But they had two punt returns, a kickoff return, a defensive score. So the offense didn't do very good. So we got to be better.
They're,
That'd be better.
they're having a good year.
You get
though,
3
really.
punt returns return for a touchdown, though.
They don't kick to you anymore.
Yeah.
They don't kick to you
Did you play
anymore.
football too?
Not after junior high, no.
Oh, not after junior.
Did
high.
John-
Tennessee didn't play this weekend, did they? Or
No,
did
they were off.
They were off.
They were off. They were getting ready for Auburn this Saturday.
So What about you, Peggy? How many football games did you watch?
Well, in my surfing, I
your
get bits and
surfing?
I surf the channels.
You started
and I get,
surfing?
well, channels. I
I'd like
surf
to see
channels.
you hang 10.
Would you now?
Yeah, I'd love to. Wouldn't you
I'd
like to see
I'd like to
Peggy
see that
in a
myself.
bikini on a surfboard hanging 10?
I might have done that some years ago.
We ought to
I'd be
stage that. We ought to
reluctant today.
stage that, get one and put it in your pool,
Yeah, that would be good.
and have you on a surfboard with
That's-
a little baby pig.
That's
on
an
there.
excellent idea, and I don't want to go too far with this because people will accuse us of being sexist or
I
something.
know.
But
Don't you even start.
But we've been wanting to see Peggy in a bikini for probably 30
Long
years.
time.
Yeah, for a long time.
You're probably past the time where it would be very exciting.
Hey, folks, we got just a little bit of time left. We have a great show today. We have a whole lot of people in the audience, in the studio, to bring wonderful information to you about all the things happening in our local area. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Pay attention to the commercials. And the next time you're in one of our sponsors' businesses, thank them for participating with us for 25 years of bringing you local information on Charter Channel 6, now on Charter Channel 193, all over the world on the internet at Channel 6, thelink.com. On demand, just for you, anytime. Binge us. You'll love it. Be right back.
It's football time, and Tennessee, and nobody tackles the competition like the Russell Barnett Automotive family. With 6 locations to serve you, certified collision center, over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from at russellbarnett.com, hometown auto rental, limited lifetime powertrain warranty on certain units, certified pre-owned units. Too many reasons to mention why. Keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. Paul just referred to our producer out here as the traffic cop. That'd be Julia. This is our segment we call Police Pointers, and we're pleased to have back with us now after a 3 or 4 month hiatus, although he was back 2 weeks ago, Paul Blackwell, Tullahoma Police Chief. Paul.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to be back.
Does Julia remind you kind of a traffic cop?
The traffic cop telling everybody what to do
She
and
does
where to
tell
go.
everybody what to do. She's pretty good at that.
In control.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Somebody's got to do it.
There's always one person in an organization.
That's right.
When they say something, you jump.
That's exactly
Yeah.
right.
And
That's
I think we've identified who it is around here.
That's right. That's right. That's right. She has vast experience in this kind of stuff, you know. And one of her hardest jobs is to make sure we all smile and act like we're happy when we come on the air the first thing on Tuesday mornings. So anyway.
Well,
And I don't know why you wouldn't be happy if you get to do this.
yeah, why not? I mean, you get to reach out and talk to people that you probably don't normally get to share information with.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Even though we know it crosses out of our city limits and into other areas, it's
Sure.
always good to know that we're sharing information with people that will be visiting our community
Right.
as well.
Yeah, and one of the nice things about this is I can actually call Paul on the phone, and he will talk to me about issues and stuff if I
Well,
need
certainly.
that too. I don't do it much, but
No.
he's invited me into his office a few times. However, I sort of had a letdown when I realized that Paul will do that for anybody, not just me, not just me.
You thought you were one of those special
Yeah, I
people.
thought because I was in television, I had some special privileges. But Paul actually will do that for any citizen. So
Well, that's correct. We're here to serve.
that's right. That's right. What sort of great information do you have for us today, Paul?
Well, I think everybody's getting excited about the construction on North Jackson Street, the Publix.
Right.
And yesterday, the signal light was actually put on in the flashing mode,
Right.
which is very good. And so it kind of signals. Get that?
It's there.
Kind of signals that it's almost time for the construction to be over and for Publix to start operating. 2 weeks ago at our last board meeting, the manager was at the Publix to get some permits approved, and the question was asked of him, when are you going to open? And he said October 31st.
Right.
So we are getting very close to that. And but one of the requirements for them to open was to have this traffic signal in place and operating. So the city's met that deadline. We've got it going. All we have to do now is tell the signal people when to put it on a regular rotation. So I think everybody is aware that signal's there. They've seen it bagged up for a couple weeks with the
Right.
bags on it. Now we've got it in the flashing mode, and the next step will be to go to a regular operations mode. So you should expect in the next couple of days probably for us to turn that to a regular cycle.
Right.
And at the same time, you're probably going to see some big trucks starting to come in to start outfitting the store. And
Right.
that was a requirement for the signal, was so their trucks could get in and out and, start getting it set up. So that area is going to start getting pretty active. It's active right now because they're starting, today, because they're doing some paving. So if you're in that area, be cautious. There's some lane closures. But to get that asphalt parking lot down, and that's one of the last things before they can start bringing those trucks in.
Yeah, and that store has generated a tremendous amount of excitement in our community.
Really, everybody.
So,
Not just within our city limits, but all around us. And that's always been one of the keys for Tullahoma, is that we're the center of this wagon wheel when you look at how our communities are laid out. And so we expect that Publix is going to be a large draw for people from other communities to come in.
And you mentioned the store manager, and I don't know his name and have not met him, but I understand that he is actually from Tullahoma. And he has been a manager of a store in Huntsville, I think. Is that correct?
What he said that the last meeting was, he lives in Manchester.
I see.
But he's been driving daily to some of these stores that are a good driving distance away. Murfreesboro, Franklin, some of those areas. So he's very excited about the prospect of being 10, 15 minutes away
Right.
from work.
Yeah, I bet.
So it's great that we have a local person running the store, understands kind of the dynamics of
Sure.
our communities. And,
Sure.
so it's going to be a big draw. So we want to caution folks to be aware of that intersection. The signal is right between a couple other signals. So people are probably going to say, oh my, I get through one light, I get hit by another light, then there's another light. But we're hoping that we can get those synchronized where there's not that long delay, or, when one is green, we're hoping we can get them all green so you have a steady flow. But, the traffic engineers will have to rely on to figure out that sequence.
I was going to ask you that. So there is some synchronization between traffic lights in Tullahoma.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's one of those things that we have to update hardware to stay up to date with things, and that's one of the items that's being looked at. Are do we have the lights synchronized the way we want them to? Now, like this particular signal at Publix, and we have a few others in town, they have what looks like a radar up on the top of them. That's a vehicle sensor. So, if there's a vehicle coming, then it'll activate the signal light to either green or red, depending on what direction you come from. So there's no longer having that, what we used to call the loop in the road that was under the pavement, where you drove up and, if you sat there for a while, you backed up and you went forward to try to hit that spot in the road. They don't have those anymore. Now they're, well, not a lot of them. they're going to the radar, the sensor that senses the vehicle approach versus pressure on the road.
Is that on Jackson Street? Is that the only place we have those?
No, we've got them at 3 or 4 other intersections. Over by Tullahoma Funeral Home on West Side Drive. That's got one. Downtown, several of the intersections. It looks like a regular radar or a camera. And we get accused sometimes of having, cameras at them, and we have to explain to them those aren't cameras, they're vehicle sensors. But little trivia, and I told you the answer once maybe a couple years ago. How many signals do we have in Tullahoma? How many red lights? Do you recall?
I'm going to flunk that test.
You're going to flunk that test. Well, with the addition of Publix,
right,
we now have 20 signals.
20.
So you can't say we're a one red light town, or
right.
You know how a lot of people will say that
right.
We got one red light in town.
Right.
This will make number 20. And so we kind of challenge everybody to sit down and see if they can find where they're all at. But
yeah, and I was going to guess 36 or something.
No, that's a little bit too many.
But that's way too many. Yeah, okay.
20 is probably a good manageable number.
Right.
So exciting times are happening. Like I say, be looking in the next day or two for that signal to go to a steady cycle, and that'll kind of signal that we're ready for the big trucks to come in and have another new business in town, and
that's right,
opportunities for our citizens and our visitors.
And that's going to be a different, I understand, a different grocery shopping experience. So you folks, I know a lot of the ladies in particular, well, not necessarily the ladies, men do grocery shopping today too.
Yeah.
Do you do that, Paul?
I go with my wife. I'll go and do it by myself if the list is very simple.
Yeah, okay.
But like one item in it, she's very specific what it is.
I haven't done that in years since my daughter was small, because my wife decided that she and I picked up too much stuff we really didn't need.
Oh yeah,
stuff,
isn't that
and that's the fun part of it.
And maybe some of this new shopping where you call or go online and order what you want is going to eliminate some of that. Getting things you don't really need. And
to tell you the truth, we actually do that at my office, my other office, and it saved a bunch of money of nobody going out and picking up cookies or stuff like that.
When you go to get a half gallon of milk and you come home with the cookies that go with it and everything else.
It works well.
Yeah.
I think Kroger's and Walmart both do that.
A lot of those big stores are having the call in and pick up service.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what Publix will have.
I think they do have that service. But
but it. Look at the transformation of the mall.
Yeah.
I mean, with the upgrades to it and obviously the revitalization of the exterior, and
sure.
So exciting times.
Yes, it is.
So, Ed, it's good. Just be cautious, and of course, we from the police department will understand it's a new signal. So,
right.
We'll be a little bit graceful.
Right.
For a little bit of time, but
right.
A month from now, it's probably not going to fly. When did that get put up here?
Yeah, right.
That probably isn't going to work.
Right.
But in the immediate time, we'll probably understand this is a new signal, and people have to get used to it.
Right. Okay. But you do have, he'll grant you a little bit of a grace period.
A little bit of a grace period.
A little bit of a grace period here, folks. Paul, I'm really proud of us today. We seem to have knowledge of a lot of different things. We almost pushed it to the limit when we went over to the grocery store thing, because it was pretty obvious that neither one of us were really too up. It's obvious that Paul and I don't do that every day.
I wouldn't win at one of those contests. No. How much does a can of peas cost?
Yeah, because we wouldn't have a clue.
I wouldn't be too good at that. But I'd have to ask what kind of peas.
Right. But that doesn't mean we don't take it on, folks.
Oh, well, I go with my wife and push the cart.
Right. Yeah. All right, Paul, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Always great to have you here. We'll be right back, folks, right after this.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. He's tough enough to feed the man that gave him a lifetime of nourishment. He has the crazy strength to lift the man that raised him up without even flinching. That's right. No employee of the month bonus check here. This guy, no, this warrior, will always be by his father's side, even if his dad will hardly remember. Good luck finding a gym to train for that. If this guy isn't the toughest guy on the planet, then I don't know who is. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Is this the year you want to get fit? If so, check out just some of the things Tullahoma Parks and Rec has to offer. Kickboxing, aerobics, silver sneakers workouts, swim lessons, boot camp, water aerobics, basketball, Zumba, yoga, pickleball, lap swimming, treadmill, karate. Get fit, Tullahoma, and have some fun with Tullahoma Parks and Rec.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. I always have the most interesting people that come to talk to me on this show, and today I'm so happy to introduce to our community and surrounding communities, Karen Elaine. You know what, it's all I could do to keep from saying Lauren Elena.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yes.
I understand you were her teacher.
I was her vocal coach for 4 years, and I'm so very proud of her. She's got a new song that's coming out, Ladies of the 90s.
I don't think I've heard that yet.
She just released it last week.
Fabulous.
And so I think it's going to be a huge hit for her. She named a lot of the artists that were very popular back in the 90s, and I really believe she wrote
That's
it.
a cool idea.
Yes,
She wrote the
absolutely,
song?
absolutely. And so I'm so excited for her. She's just on a roll.
Well, we love her, and because she has local connection with now Brandon Wren. What's wrong with me?
Bass
He's
player.
in the hospital right now with his wife, trying to deliver a baby. I
Oh, my
think.
goodness.
So anyway, you are a vocal coach, you're a drummer, and obviously
Guitar, bass player,
guitar,
piano.
bass, everything out there, and
Pretty
you have a
much.
studio.
Yes, a recording studio, and teach lessons.
And you teach lessons. How
Yes.
long have you been actually in Winchester? I think I caught you pretty early.
Yes, you did. Just a few months,
Yeah.
not even a year yet. So the area is just absolutely stunning. I used to do a lot of touring, and we would drive through this area.
Yeah, it is pretty.
The proximity is just marvelous because it's between Huntsville, Chattanooga, and Nashville. And so I always just drove through here and thought, man, how beautiful a place this is.
And the mountains.
The mountains and the lakes and the
it's
streams and the
everything.
waterfalls
It's
and the
just
people.
beautiful. And the people. They're pretty decent.
People
There's some
make the
decent
place
people.
beautiful, you know.
Right.
I've been in places I thought this is absolutely a stunning place, but the people were just, not nice, and so the place wasn't nice. But this is a stunning area.
Do you have a certain type of music, vocal music that you teach, or do you just touch on all types?
I think I touch on all types. I have that question given to me often. Honestly, I think music is music,
Right.
and what you learn and put in your tools of trade works
Will
for
work
all
on
types of
each.
music. That's correct.
Well, frankly, I love it when I know that a country music star has had some vocal coaching, because you can tell the difference in
Absolutely.
a heartbeat. Back in my day, I wasn't that crazy about country music because often it sounded nasal and lacked diction and all that.
Yeah.
But it's come a long way.
It has come a long
Yeah.
way, and having some coaching actually with your breathing and controlling how you pronounce your words and all, it makes the guy at the sound booth's job a lot easier.
Right. I've heard
And
some
it
of the
keeps you-
sound people talk about how they have to manipulate the microphone somehow to get the voice on
Absolutely.
pitch.
The EQs
Yeah,
and
that's
the
what it
reverbs.
is, right.
But also it helps the entertainer to be able to sustain longer, and not blow out their vocal cords,
Exactly.
and not have problems later on. And so,
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that even people that don't sing can use breathing training and all that, because that helps you live longer.
Absolutely.
And it's a proven fact that if people that sing live longer and are obviously smarter. Don't you think so?
Well, I'm not going to comment on that, but I do think it is a proven fact. I was just reading an article this past week about how that just singing 10 minutes a day
Right.
can make you live, and the statistics was way up there in years. But also during our last census, they asked all our centurions, the 100-year-olds and older, they were trying to find a common factor.
Right.
What do people that live over 100 have in common? And so they were asking all these questions, and they kept going through and seeing the things that kept over and over repetitiously coming up. The three things were, someone likes to make fun out of everything. They find the humor.
They laugh a lot.
They laugh a lot. The other thing was a high belief in a spiritual entity, a God, and a creator. And the third thing was music.
I believe that
They were
with all my
either a
heart.
singer, or said that they love to sing, or they love to play music, or they actually said, I love to listen to music
Love to
every day.
listen to music.
So music is a powerful
And it's
thing.
an
It's a powerful
international
tool.
language. It works
Absolutely.
anywhere you go.
Yes.
You can do music with any language in the world, and you'll come together with that.
And it changes your moods.
Absolutely.
I can get up in the morning and directly throughout the day, my whole entire day is set by what I listen to in the very first hour of when I get up. And so I think it's just so powerful. It's just
It is powerful.
music is an
and
amazing thing.
What a great way to start your day. Plus, when you're singing or listening to music, your head's not thinking about all these things that go
Not
on
being
every day.
depressed.
Right? You're too busy to be depressed. So you have a recording studio,
Yes.
and you're recording what types? I mean, any type of music?
Pretty much any type of
or any
music.
kind of thing they want to do? You have a state-of-the-art outfit, I think.
Absolutely.
At least from what I read.
Yes, we anyone that knows anything about recording, we do a 64-channel Spirit Soundcraft board.
Fabulous.
We do analog and digital.
Yeah.
We work off Pro Tools and Sonar, Neumann mics, the D8Bs, the Grace preamps. We even have a Neve sidecar that controls our drums, which that's sought after in the industry. So I think our studio is top notch.
It's top notch. And so
we
people
bring
out
in-
there that are interested, do you have a certain title for your place?
Just Karen Elaine's Recording Studio.
All
is
right,
what-
Karen Elaine's
yes.
Recording Studio
Yeah.
in Winchester, Tennessee.
That's correct.
You can find her. And students that are interested,
Yes.
maybe you'd take one. I'll bet you audition.
I do.
You have to.
You have to, Miss Peggy. What I do is I bring them in and I do an assessment,
Sure.
and I do this with every one of my lessons. It's not just in. It's not just
Guitar,
in.
whatever, yeah.
Yes, and there's two reasons for that. Number one, I don't want a parent. Bring a child in that's 5 years old and they're not ready. But
Right.
but I have, because I started before I was 6. I have found that young people do grasp an instrument at a very early age. However, they have to be at the age that they want to practice.
Exactly.
And
And that's not always the case.
That's right. And so
And because you can ruin their love for music if
Absolutely.
they don't enjoy what they're doing.
and
That is fabulous. I just love the idea. You said that you started playing the drums when you were 7?
before I was 6.
Before you were 6,
Yes.
okay. And so what gave you the inspiration to go to drums?
We was in church, and it was, of course, it was an old-timey Pentecostal church
Yeah.
back in the woods of South Carolina, and the pastor had been praying for musicians in the church.
Oh.
And so I think that there was just a calling, actually, because when I started playing, I just started watching. I would place myself in the church, in the choir, on the side, behind every drummer that came into our church, and I watched.
And you watched what they did.
Emphatically, everything that they did, and
A lot of that
I mimicked
excess,
that.
excess energy
Abs-
came out in the drums, and that's a fabulous. You know what? We don't have enough time. You've got to come back. I just loved meeting you,
Peggy,
Karen,
very nice meeting
and
you.
we've got to go. Karen Elaine, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be back.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Who will be Mr. and Ms. Tullahoma Canine this year? Which dog will win the Best Trick Award? Find out at the Animal Shelter's Bark in the Park, Saturday, October 13th from 10 until 2 at Wagner Park. Help support the Animal Medical Care Fund during a day of barking family fun that includes dog contest, pup paw art, grooming, ninja slide, and more. Sponsorships, silent auction items, and volunteers are needed. To learn more, contact Teresa Holt at 454-9580 or visit our website.
Rush Bricken demands governmental financial responsibility.
Rush Bricken cares about veterans and will defend the Constitution.
Rush Bricken knows small business creates good jobs.
On November 6th, you have a choice for your Tennessee State Representative.
I'd like to be your next Tennessee representative.
For fiscal soundness.
I'm picking Bricken.
For low taxes.
I'm picking Bricken.
For good jobs and roads.
I'm picking Bricken.
Vote Rush Bricken November 6th to the Tennessee State House of Representatives.
Today, I get to talk to all the beautiful ladies. Judy Jenkins, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm
You're back here
wonderful.
talking about a day of hope.
I am.
We all could use that.
One Day of Hope has been my passion for the last 4 years, and I want to share it with all of Coffee County, particularly those citizens in Tullahoma that really need this. One Day of Hope is a collaborative effort from Coffee County individuals, businesses, churches, and people with kind hearts that want to help our less fortunate individuals. We all sometimes can't control what happens to us in life, and
You're
there are
right.
so many needy people, and One Day of Hope is there to help. Now, it is one day in which we're at Coffee County Fairgrounds, but we plan for it 365 days out of the year, and we are working so very hard to maybe make it many days of hope, so
good.
that'll be in the future. But in the meantime, we are inviting anyone that needs our services.
And what are some of the services? for
Well,
those
they're
that don't know?
absolutely endless, and that's the exciting thing. We provide on that one day containers of food, clothing that involve winter coats, children's underwear,
fabulous, yeah.
work boots that have steel-toed shoes in them, tennis shoes, shoes for children. We then also have some men's work clothing and some ladies' clothing. And you're basically taken into one of the warehouses at I think it's called the Starnes Building in Coffee County Fairgrounds, and someone will help you shop for all the things that you need.
So do people come in with their needs listed?
They mentally, I think
Mentally,
they have an unbelievably long list, and we try to fill it.
And is there an evaluation of the people that can come through there?
No, we want you to be a Tullahoma resident, a Coffee County resident. We want someone that needs our services. We'd like to provide free lunch for that day, and everybody really enjoys that. And on top of that, we're going to do free haircuts. And
what a great idea.
Isn't that
'Cause a lot
wonderful?
of people can't
Everybody
afford to
needs
get
a
their hair
spruce
cut.
up just to make you feel better. But a lot of our individuals get the free haircut, and then they wander over to the family portrait with their loved ones
And they look
and
nice.
have their first family
That's
picture
beautiful.
taken. And we have a processing machine that then processes the photo, and
they
we
get
get
to
to
take it
hand
home
it
with
to
them.
them. Right.
And they get
One
to
of
see
the
how-
other things that I'm equally excited about is for children. We not only have a children's zone with inflatables and games and fun, but this year we're going to give out a bag of toys to each
Wonderful.
child. So each child will go home with a bag that has 3 toys in it. Then we have
fabulous.
children's books, brand new books that have been donated from all over the county as a gift just to them, and all they have to do is stop by and pick it up. The other thing that I'm really excited about is called the CHIP program.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, it's being run by the Masons here in Tennessee, and it's a child identification program. If you will bring your child, they will take a swab inside their mouth, they will take a short voice recording, and they will take their fingerprints. They will give all that information to you. They keep nothing. But if, God forbid, a horrible event occurs and your child is missing, you then have the ability to say, this is my child, and if it matches, then you can prove it. We also have job services. There are a lot of people that need jobs still, and sometimes they need a little bit of help, you know, securing it. We have Life Choices is out there to counsel people. We're going to have some anti-drug individuals there if that's a service that you need. The citizens of Coffee County have been so wonderful about donating. We have 82 churches with over 600 volunteers that help us pull off this one day. And at the very, very end, and on top of getting free food and the clothing and whatever, we want each person to leave with a hygiene bag. You know, we always need shampoo, the toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, deodorant, soap. I mean, things that you buy over and over and over again. And then at the very end, we have something very special, and it's all, no one is forced to go into any of these areas. If you would like to go into our prayer tent, we have individuals that feel that if you will just come and just share with them a few minutes of your time, if you would want someone to pray for you, there's somebody that wants to do that. Our whole goal is to make you feel like an honored community member, someone like a VIP that gets that little extra special treatment, because, you know, we all need that to feel like our lives are worthwhile. So I have a phone number. I'd like for anybody that has any questions to call 931-222-5033. You'll get to talk to me because I answer the phone.
I don't know if the guys in the back are listening, but it'd be nice if that went up on the screen.
Absolutely.
Well, you've got it in your head. You tell me.
Yes, I'll tell you one more time. 931-222-5033. I'll answer any of your questions. Oh, there's something I totally forgot. I can't even believe it. We have free medical and free dental.
You're kidding.
Dental care. The dentists are there. They will evaluate you. Anything they can do right then and there, they'll do. If it's a little more complicated, they'll give you their card. You then go to their office where things are a little more sterile. They have more equipment. So please take advantage of that.
Well,
I know.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
A lot of the phone calls are dental. They're dental
I can
questions.
imagine.
Yep.
Were you on the ground floor of starting this?
No, I wasn't.
Who started this?
Ray Markram and a group of concerned Christians started it, and they brought in Convoy of Hope. Convoy helped to get us organized, and then they turned it over to us. But it's an all-volunteer charity.
And are you looking for more volunteers?
Oh, absolutely.
And so they just call that number that never went up?
We'd love to have it. If you'd like to be a volunteer, show up at First Baptist Church in Manchester at 7 o'clock this Thursday. We'll tell you all about it. We'll sign you
Where
up.
is that
You can
church
get
located?
It is located on Route 41 in Manchester, just about 2 blocks down from the Sonic.
Oh, well, that's easy enough to find.
And that's where we kind of orient new volunteers. But Coffee County is all of us.
You know what? I've always thought that this Middle Tennessee region have been some of the most giving people.
They are.
In the nation.
They are.
And I have been around the world and back, and I've been places that have heard of Tennessee. They will always say, I hear that Tennessee is the friendliest place. And
it is.
Giving.
I can vouch for it. I'm not from Tennessee. I'm from Virginia.
Well, we won't hold that against you. You finally straightened up and came to where you belong.
I did. Came where I belong. You got it. I love it.
All right.
So
one last time, October the 13th.
This coming Saturday. Yes, from 9 to 2.
9 to 2.
At
Just
Coffee
show up
County.
and go shopping inside the big building there.
Absolutely. Please come.
Judy,
We'd love
you
to
are
help you.
such a joy.
Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you
I
for
love
all you
being
do.
here.
There's other things that's going to happen here, so stay tuned.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and if you're as old as I am, you will remember a TV show called Our Miss Brooks, and it was about a school teacher that everybody just loved. Well, this segment is Our Mr. Brooks, because Winston Brooks is here with us, and he's a guy that I just love because of all the wonderful things he does for the city around here, and he keeps us informed about neat things that are happening, and I'm sure that's why you're here.
That's right. Well, thank you so much for that great introduction, and it's good to be here as always. And we've got a couple of good events that just wanted to make everyone aware of. Coming up Saturday, October 13th, which we just saw, it's going to be a busy day, but we have a very special event coming up called Bark in the Park. It's the 16th annual Bark in the Park, and it supports the medical fund that we use down at our animal shelter. And you may not know this, but every animal, every dog that comes into that, and cats, if it happens, we don't keep the cats, but they come in there needing medical attention. All the animals do get medical attention that they need.
Yes, I did know that, but a lot of the citizens might not understand that is an expense of running a shelter like that.
That's right. It's one of the major expenses we've got is the medical fund. So Bark in the Park is going to be Saturday, October 13th. We're inviting everyone to come out as a fundraiser to help support the medical fund. Be a lot of fun and fun ways to pamper your pooch there. You can have your dog's nails done, hair done. They can even
pamper your pooch.
Pamper your pooch.
I love it. I was going to ask you what happened at Bark at the Park, but I just found out it's a doggy beauty salon.
That's a good way to put it. That's right. As well as a art gallery and.
Are they painting? Are the animals painted?
Yeah, you put the paws in that paint and paint pictures with them. It's great fun. You got to come on out and try it out. There's also fun for humans as well. There's some bounce houses for the kids, silent auction, lots of good food, games, lots of fun. But it's for a great cause, and we just want to invite everyone to come out. It's going to be a beautiful day. The fall's coming in. This is our last day of hot weather. Aren't you glad for that?
Well, yes. Yes, I am in a way. I mean, that's what I like about living here.
It's great, isn't it?
Is you get all four. You get all 4 seasons. When you're about to burn up, the next morning it's clear and it's cool and crisp and it's just wonderful.
So, Bark in the Park, October 13th. The next event that I wanted to share with our viewers is that on Monday, October 22nd, we're going to have the Walk to Appalachian Trail after party. So come on out. It's a free event.
Oh, is that over?
It's going to be over. Yep, October 22nd is the after party. It's going to be at the D.W. Wilson Indoor Pool. We're going to have J.J.
You're going to have a red carpet?
American Pie playing. There'll be a red carpet. There's going to be music. There's going to be fun. There's going to be games. And there's going to be prizes. So right now we've got the top AT walker is at 1,700 miles. So they're narrowing in on the 2,700
on the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's been a great little event. I even went to the Appalachian Trail this week.
Well, I saw some pictures of yours that you standing near a waterfall.
That's
and
right.
You and your family went and did some hiking. And did you camp or just hike?
We were just passing through there on our way over to Charlotte to see the Giants play the Panthers.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a great game.
Are you a Giants fan or a Packers
Giants fan.
Giants fan.
Yep. And I got to see the second longest field goal kick in NFL history.
Yeah, for a win.
For a win.
That's very good. Except it wasn't a Giants win.
No, I know. But it was okay. It was a great game. At least it wasn't a blowout. But again, October 13th, Saturday, Bark in the Park. Come out.
Pamper your pooch.
Pamper your pooch. Support the animal shelter. By the way, the animal shelter, the new animal shelter, is just a couple of weeks away from opening up. So
you know what?
exciting.
Everybody in town that what you need to do when the animal shelter opens up, you need to go down there to see it with a dog bowl and a bag of food under your arm.
That's a great idea.
And leave them down there, because those are expenses that's a way you can give and affect your local animals. You know, you see all these bleeding-eyed dog commercials all over television. Take a bag of food and a bowl to your local animal shelter. Go to Bark in the Park and buy some medicine for them.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Couldn't agree
Thanks,
more.
Winston.
You're welcome.
Appreciate
Thank
you, buddy. We'll be right back.
Have you heard the news? Russell Barnett Automotive Family has launched its new website, russellbarnett.com. Very user-friendly. Over 1,000 new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from, online credit applications, hometown auto rental, customer testimonials, trade appraisals, certified collision center, service department scheduling. Too many reasons to mention why I keep asking the question, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Hello, I'm John Rickman. We're back again.
And I'm Pat Welch, and we're back with, is this 4, John?
This is number 4.
Wow, with conversations with John and Pat. If you picked a song out for today, John?
This song I used to do for the kids over at East. They liked it. It's not one I wrote. Mike Snyder, somewhere picked it up and he recorded it. But he did one of mine called Chicken Necks and Wings, so this is about dipping snuff. Well, I went on back to Grandpa's house where I was born and raised. There I'd take long moonlight strolls out back where the milk cows graze. It was there I spied this pretty young thing. She was sitting on a barbed wire fence. I grinned at her and she grinned right back, like she had good sense. I said, hello, ma'am, I'm proud to meet you. You're a diamond in the rough. She said, oh, cut out all that fancy talk, boy, and give me a dip of your snuff. Well, I guess I hate to admit it, and I was a little bit more than surprised, but when I pulled out my can of snuff, I saw love light up in her eyes. Snuff dipper, the story of my life. Snuff dipper, now I got one for a wife. Well, I courted that girl in the tater patch, and I courted her in the sorghum cane. I kissed her in the sunshine, I even kissed her in the pouring rain. First time I kissed her snuff-stained lips, we was sitting on a hollow log, and the echo of the pucker rang through the hills like a wail of an old coon dog. I said, that sure was one fine pucker, sweetie, you really know your stuff. She said, oh, you didn't want no kiss at all, boy, you just sucked out my dip of snuff. Then one night when the time seemed right, I said, sweetie, we ought to get wise. Two can dip but just cheap as one if we buy that giant economy size. So we went on over to the preacher's house, said, preacher, we want to be wed. So he tied the knot, said, like it or not, she's yours till you're plumb dead. Well, I got me a level-headed woman now. She's the sweetest in all the South. The reason I call her level-headed is the snuff drips out of both sides of her mouth. Snuff dipper, the story of my life. Snuff dipper, now I got one for a wife. Wow. I like that little song, Pat.
Wow.
Sounds like your baby?
Yeah, that's, yeah, she's level-headed and all right. And I may be level-headed when I get home. That brings, tobacco product usage was probably pretty prevalent at the Builder Supply, which we our last segment we talked about Mike Galligan, and I've got several stories that we can tell on Mike, but another one of my favorites was Mike was maybe what we might call today challenged. He probably wasn't going to be real good in school and didn't want to be, and didn't go very long, but he was really strong and worked every day of his life, never took a moment's worth of charity, just a great guy. And he really looked up to one of the employees there named Larry Broderick that I went to school with, and Larry was a great guy, and Mike worshiped Larry.
Yeah.
And they went, I believe this happened on a Saturday. We worked at the Builders till noon, and they decided they were going to go to pool hall and play some pool. So Mike went with them, and when they first walked in, one of Larry's high school buddies came up behind him and grabbed him and clasped his hands and held him real tight, just to let him know, I'm here and good to see you. But remember I said Mike was really, really loyal. And he went to the cue stick rack beside on the wall there and got a cue out, and Larry's buddy hit the floor after Mike put the cue stick upside his head. And he liked to repeat stuff when he got excited, and he said, I got him, Larry, got him, Larry, got him, Larry. And Larry said, yeah, you sure did, Mike. You just laid out one of my best friends.
You know, we had a snow not too long ago, and I thought back to when I was in high school or in school. There was a pool room in the middle of Chapel Hill. And on snowy days, when there wasn't much to do anywhere else, we'd go to the pool room. And that was what I thought about the other day. Then we'd go down there and just have a good time playing pool and the pinball machines and things like that.
I was wondering if you're going to bring those pinball machines up, John. I really didn't want your mother to know that you participated in
my
that.
mother's not in the. I don't think she'll know.
All right,
I don't think she'll.
All right.
Hold it against
Remember
me
we
now.
said we weren't going to try ever
but
embarrass
she
our
is
parent mothers.
She still does this. I walk in, I'll have a baseball hat on my head, and she says, "Would you mind taking your hat off?" I still
Isn't that
do
great?
it. Here I am, nearly 70, and I've taken my hat off for my mother now.
You know, now you've got me. This is completely unrehearsed now. This is conversation with John and Pat. We used to, and we need to do it some more, John. Go visit some of your old buddies in Chapel Hill. But one time we went on Depot Street, checking that trestle out, and the possibility where we might bring our wives one night and we try to get them scared. But we went to see your mother, and she's in that little house, and somehow there was a piano in the room. That was one of the focal points of it, and we asked her if she'd play. And I was not prepared for it at all. She played, it sounded like Beethoven or Mozart or something. You never heard such piano playing, and she played like that for about 1 minute and 42 seconds. And all of a sudden, her hands came off the keys like they were just scalded hot, you know. And I said, Ms. Rickman, that was awful good. Why in the world did you stop? She said if I played any more, it'd been showing out. And there's a lady that wouldn't show out.
My mother is something still this day. She's very gentle and soft and meek now, but she toted the line, made us toe the line when we were young. By the way, we're going to have to go right now, and I'm John, and we'll be back.
And I'm Pat, and this is not the end of the conversations unless management says it is. Thank you.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
All right, folks, we're back, and you would love to be in here and see what goes on behind the scenes. I guarantee you that. We have a whole lot of fun. Well, we have a whole lot of fun in front of the camera, but behind the camera you can come here if you want to. We do this show every Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. We would love to have an audience. Y'all come in and participate. We'll make coffee. If enough of you show up, we'll even get a box of donuts. So with all of that said, the people I was having fun with are sitting right here, and that's Carla and Carter.
It's hard to say together, isn't it?
Yeah, say that 25 times fast. And y'all are here to talk about the yearly event,
the Sportsman's
event, and look forward to this every year. And this is something that your dad and a few people started years ago, isn't it, Carter?
That's true. 35 years ago, around about 1984, they decided that they wanted to have an event, and if they made any money, they would just, buy food baskets or give the proceeds away, and that has turned into one of this area's most prolific and longest-lasting charitable organizations that I guess we've got around, really.
Yeah.
The Sportsmen and Businessmen's Charitable Organization is a mouthful, so we've started referring to it as the SBCO, or just the Sportsmen.
Yeah.
And we've had 35 of these wonderful events, and they've become a little bit more planned and a little bit better executed every year. But we commit to have fun and raise money.
And they do more, it accomplishes more, and over the past 35 years than hand out a couple of food baskets.
That's absolutely true.
So explain to us exactly what happens now, and the help you've given, the people you've helped, and I'm sure you spotlight different areas that you want this money to go to. Give our audience a little idea about where it goes.
So we have over the years been able to assist in a lot of different ways. We have helped folks who were cruising along, doing just fine, and then a terrible accident happens, whether someone in the family gets very sick or there's a car accident or a fire. The Sportsman has been there with financial assistance to help them over that bump, and it comes in many different forms. We'll find, as we did this year, a child who was handicapped, who needed a special tricycle. We were able to help with that purchase. Oddly enough, insurance, didn't take care of that for that young person, but members of the community and the Sportsman were able to help take care of that.
Good.
There have been a few folks with access to their home, issues with access to their home. They were in a wheelchair or not able to walk, and we were able to help them get some access to their home through building ramps. Carla,
We do a lot of glasses and help for children. And it's interesting. A lot of people don't realize how much the Sportsman really does. But every morning we have a committee, and every morning I check my email, and we have requests for assistance every single day. And it's a process that we really take seriously, and we research the people who are requesting money and what they need it for, and we have the assistance of Taylor Rayfield, that he does an enormous amount of work for us now, and he is a great resource because he has connections with a lot of other area resources that he can help. We help those people connect with other area resources as well. So it's become a very important piece to our community that a lot of people just don't realize, because we don't do a lot of advertising. We feel like our donations are private because the people who need them are really deeply in need.
Right.
And they're proud people.
Yeah, they're proud people, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we some of the more public things that we've done are help the schools in different ways through their We Care or child resource programs to help children who aren't getting all their needs met at home, whether it's food, clothing, school supplies, things like that.
Right. Well, that's a question I was sort of getting ready to ask, and just because it popped into my mind. Do you make donations to other nonprofits that are doing work that you want, to help them do, like children's advocacy or something like that? If they need something.
An example of our giving to another organization recently was to help with the construction of a special needs playground at the rec center in Manchester.
Yeah.
So it was about I'm going to get the number wrong, but if it was a $60,000 project, they received some grants, private fundraising, and the Sportsman, I believe we gave $5,000 to that.
That's wonderful.
To that. So we do selectively inject monies into larger programs like We Care and this special needs program, but we also want to find that end user, that person in need or that family in need, and directly benefit them.
Their lives.
And impact them, because our flexibility is quick turnaround, and we vet the request, each and every request on its own merits, and we can make a decision. And if we give money over to other not-for-profits, we feel like sometimes
you lose that control.
We do. Yeah. But there are others that are doing a great job.
Okay, now we've talked about all the good things that you do.
And now
not
the fun
all of
part.
them. Not all of them. Now we've got a little bit of time. We need to talk about how you folks are going to have fun. Break it down, girl, because I know you're the one who knows more about it than anybody.
The first way to have fun is to meet us at Prater's in Manchester on this Thursday. Thursday from 4:30 to 7:30, we're having our kickoff. So this is where if you have auction items that you want to donate for us, bring them, come. We have
It's the party before the party. How many parties?
It's not an after party, it's a before
It's a before party.
We don't have an after party. We're too exhausted.
We do it right up front. I mean, we get on it. We're not gonna.
I love
so, Praters, this Thursday from 4:30 to 7:30, come help us get this thing kicked off.
Okay.
Our final big event is November the 3rd. We are condensing a
Now,
little
wait a
bit
minute.
this
You
year.
said our final big event. It's not our final.
Oh no, sorry.
For this year.
The
It is
big for this
our
2018.
major fundraising event.
For this year.
Yes.
35 years. We'll do we do the silent auction at $5,000.
Where is it?
Oh, it's at the conference center.
Okay, very good. Of
Rebecca
course.
does a great job helping us with this. November 3rd, it's going to start at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Dinner tickets are $50. We've been at $50 for what, 10 years or 15 years?
Ever
something
since
like
we've
that.
been at the conference center. When we transitioned there, I'm going to say it's about 10 or 11 years ago. It has just been a tremendous event. We've hosted some of the largest events that center's ever seen, and the food has always been fantastic, and they've done a really good job growing to support our needs. We will have one of the best bands that the region gets to see. Mixtape, 80s tribute band.
All right.
So we're
Gonna be
really
fun.
we're amping up the party this year and the fun. We were formed unofficially in 1984, and then the state recognized us a few years later. We became legal, but we're gonna have a good time. We'll have a couple hundred items in a silent auction. We'll have 20 or 30 items in a live auction.
And usually the items that you have there, this is good stuff.
Oh, yeah. We have
This
a
good
great
stuff
community that supports us.
That supports very well. And it's always fun to listen and watch the bidding to see, and particularly when 2 or 3 people get, I'm not going to let you have that, I'm going to get that.
There's some ego involved.
But what that does is that pushes, it's all for a good cause. Somebody said, well, you paid more than it's worth. No, I didn't. I gave a donation to a good cause.
Exactly.
So,
and look at our fantastic flyer
that's
this
great.
year.
Amber Dotson does our flyers. She has for the last many years, and she really picked up on the theme that we're wanting to go with, and kind of put it on paper.
There you go.
So,
all right, we've got the orange cone over there.
There you go.
that means
it's time for the construction cone.
We'll be back with you the last week of October.
Okay, good. That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate
your
both of you
organization.
very
Thank
much
you.
for what you do. We'll be right back.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Mate. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterwear.
Yes, Roosterwear is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterwear specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterwear.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com.
to find our handcrafted designs for
The Cock of the Walk.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
I'm so glad to have Kelsey back with me today, talking about the Alzheimer's Walk, and it's right on us, isn't it?
It is. It is this Saturday, October 13th at the South Jackson Civic Center.
I know, and everybody's ready to go. Have you got a lot of people signed up?
We do. We currently have over 400 people registered.
That is wonderful.
But we are hoping to have over 600 people with us on Walk Day, and we know a lot of people come the day of and register for the first time, and we want anyone and everyone to come out. It's our 25th annual year.
It starts at, is it 9?
So 8 to 9 is registration and check-in. And we also have a bunch of sponsors and vendors that are going to be there. And
you can come have coffee and
yeah, we'll have some coffee and snacks and water and team photos, and kids can make signs, and we'll have cornhole and some face tattoos and fun things for the kids too. But it really is going to be such a wonderful day. 25th Annual Walk to End Alzheimer's, presented locally by Jack Daniels and nationally by Edward Jones.
The people are so giving, and Edward Jones, he's a financial planner or whatever that is.
Yeah, so Edward Jones, they're kind of financial offices and financial advisors that...
Everybody knows what Jack Daniels is.
They do.
They are so gracious to sponsor this.
They really are. They're such a community-minded business, and
it means a lot.
There's not alcohol or anything the morning of. It's not an alcohol event or anything like that. They just really care about the community, and they know that this disease affects so many of their employees and so many of the customers that they serve and the community that they are in.
You know, I just hope that I'm going to be the first survivor. You know, so many people now get Alzheimer's, and it's a very scary type of disease. And some people it affects a different way. And if you've ever had a family member or known anybody that had Alzheimer's, it's a huge process to go through.
It's really different. A lot of people think it's just memory loss, and when I talk to people, and from my own experience, my grandma passed from the disease 2 years ago. Memory loss is the easiest part.
That's the easiest part.
And that's hard to say, but it really is, because you slowly lose that person in front of you, and they lose the ability to walk, and then they lose the ability to talk, and eventually eat and feed themselves. And just kind of that decline, for some people it's really rapid, for some people it's 8, 10, 15 years.
And for some people you can hardly tell that they have it.
And then it's a slow decline.
To mask it somehow. But then usually it finally, it's a very debilitating disease, and it's frightening if you're the caretaker or if you're the person. And I guess the person, once they finally forget everything,
I mean, one of the things that we oftentimes find is that the health of the caregiver declines more rapidly than the health of the person with the disease.
I think that was the one thing I learned, that you have to do some stuff for yourself.
Self-care is so important
for yourself, and do a lot of reading. There's a lot of research done on Alzheimer's disease, and did they need to call that number if they want to sign up before Saturday?
Yeah, they're welcome to. That is our local number, so that will reach me. They just ask for Kelsey or the Walk to End Alzheimer's in Tullahoma, or South Central Tennessee Community. Someone will get you to me.
Or they can also show up
They can also show up the day of, between 8 and 9. It's going to be a really, really beautiful day. It's our 25th annual year. We are so proud. We've already raised over $54,000.
That's wonderful.
And our goal is $59,000.
And does everybody get a T-shirt that shows up?
So the way that T-shirts work is we do it a little bit differently. So it doesn't cost anything for anyone to walk with us. We never want money to be a barrier to someone seeking help or seeking support. And so the same way that none of our educational programs cost anything to anyone, we don't want the walk to, for anyone not to be able to participate because they don't have the financial means to do so. But we really encourage fundraising. The Alzheimer's Association, we're the largest nonprofit funder of research in the entire world, and the only way we're able to do that is because of the funds raised through events like the Walk to End Alzheimer's. And so This t-shirt is our official t-shirt for this year. We have our local presenting sponsor,
cool.
Jack Daniels, on the sleeve, and all of our local sponsors are on the back. And so every individual fundraiser who raises $100 earns the shirt.
Earns the shirt.
Yes. So we say you earn the shirt. We are not expecting anyone to give $100 out of pocket. I know for me that would be really difficult. For a lot of people that's not.
But if you can
raise $100, you know, that's asking, you know, 20 people for $5 or asking 5 people for $20, and you can get there. It isn't, when you break it down, when you say 100, you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot. Like, how do I get there? But we always encourage, break it down into smaller pieces. We also have tons of fundraising tools that people can utilize through their participant center if they register online. We also have things that I can connect them with locally. So if they reach out to that number or they email me, my email is KEWilliams, WILLIAMS@ALZ.org. I can also send them resources over email.
But there's the phone number, so write it down and be sure and participate in this wonderful fundraising event. Do you all do more than one fundraising? How many fundraising events do you do each year?
Well, so it really depends. So a lot of our teams do tons of fundraising events to raise the money for the walk.
Right.
This is our big event in the Tullahoma area community as the Alzheimer's Association, but we have 4 walks in the Middle Tennessee area, including this one. So we just had our walk in Clarksville.
How did that go?
It was amazing. Their goal was $75,000 and they hit $100,000.
Wow.
So I'm hoping that our community will be able to get there one day. And then
I think it will. With your enthusiasm, Kelsey, who could turn you down?
You are way too kind. I'm hoping that we can. We really have seen such incredible support from the community and from businesses, you know, those geriatric businesses that care for people with Alzheimer's, and businesses that really have no connection to the disease. TE Connectivity is a new sponsor with us this year, and they also have a team, and they're a plant, you know.
Yeah, and can people that have questions concerning Alzheimer's disease or caretaking, or maybe they think they have it, can they call your number and get
and so I'll connect them to a counselor. So I know about the disease. I can talk about the basics, but I'm not a master's level clinician. I can't do all the intricacies of talking through things, but we have master's level clinicians available 24 hours a day,
fabulous.
7 days a year. So 7 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so we also have, so that's our 24-hour helpline number. So I can connect them to that number if they call me
really
locally,
good.
but I want to make sure that people have that, because that's one of the resources I'm most proud of that we have.
I think a caretaker often just needs to hear another voice sometimes, because it's very, well, it's hard. It just takes a lot of energy. It drains you.
It really does.
And some patients I do know are like my mother was a little bit combative and ran away.
It can be common.
Got out of the car if it stopped at a light.
Right.
So we had to get the locks fixed on the doors so she couldn't know. Anyway, there's a lot of horrible things.
Yeah, so
these are beautiful people that this happens to.
Absolutely, some of the most beautiful people. My grandmother was the most fabulous and loving and kind person.
Same with my mother.
It was horrible watching what happened to her, and that's why I'm committed. This is not just a job for me. This is not work. This is so personal.
I think that's why you're so good at it, because you understand.
Yeah.
And you're very young to have this understanding. I appreciate you so much. All right, don't forget, Alzheimer's Walk is October 13th.
Yes, this Saturday, Walk to End
South
Alzheimer's.
Texas Civic
presented
Center.
by Jack Daniels.
Show up and have a good time while you're doing it.
Yeah.
I love you, Kelsey.
Thank you so
You're
much.
so good. We'll be back.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel that the paint works, where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good, because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. honeydew is what they do, and you get to do it too. So you go to the Paintworks at 1960 North Washington Street, and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
All right, I'm back with the lovely Miss Judy Jenkins. You know, we kept her around here because Peggy got her the first time, and I just can't stand Judy being here and me not getting to talk with her a little bit. And I love your shirt. It says, "Fall in love with giving."
Yes.
So that's what we all need to do, and Judy's going to tell us how.
I am, because I'm a nurse by trade, and so that's where my passion is. And I'd like to talk about blood donation. I think people don't really understand that there is always a need for blood in our community. We sometimes have drives, we sometimes think, oh, it's time to give blood, but blood needs to be donated every day in so many different ways, and I'd like to just tell you a little bit about that. Your blood contains 4 major components. The liquid that it floats around in, that the cells float around in, that's called plasma. If you are really dehydrated, you need plasma to rehydrate you. They use a lot of plasma on the military fields. They use them in the hospitals. The blood cells are red blood cells that carry oxygen and iron. Those are the 2 things that you need for energy and breathing. Then your white blood cells fight infection. You can't live without them. Then the 3rd cell is a little tiny sticky thing called the platelet, and it's what happens. It's so almost invisible that when you cut yourself, the platelets zoom to that area and seal it off, otherwise you'd bleed to death. So the importance of blood is, in essence, you can't live without it. You can live with a lower amount of it, but it's not much of a fun life. Now, cancer patients that lose their blood cells, surgical patients that need to be energized again, military where there's all sorts of trauma, newborn babies that for some reason have lost a little bit of blood. We actually give them drops of blood to energize them. Blood is such an important part of our lives, and it needs to be donated all the time. Now, when I moved here to Tullahoma, I immediately connected with Blood Assurance. I personally have been donating blood for over 50 years, and I'm still here. I won't say tall and strong, I'll say, I guess, short and strong. It has no ill effects on the individual. Blood Assurance is such a great charity that invites you to stop by, make an appointment, give any of those blood products. They'll explain them all to you. And then what happens is they're stored away. Now, they can't be stored for long because surgical patients need them every day. Cancer patients need them every day to heal. Newborn babies need them to survive. So my hope is that those individuals in the community will recognize that it is something that your body will replenish. And you don't have to worry. If you give a unit of blood, you're not going to feel bad because your body immediately goes, oh, I'm down a little bit, and so I'll start manufacturing it. Every 2 weeks, I give platelets. Platelets are needed by cancer patients, sometimes just to stay alive. My body knows that, and 2 weeks later, I've replenished all the ones that I gave and maybe a little bit more. So there's no harmful effects. And a lot of these things are not understood by our people. People are afraid. Blood Assurance, the technicians and the assistants there are marvelous. They make you feel not only wanted, needed, they explain things to you. And at the end, you get great t-shirts to wear in the community that hopefully will start conversations.
Judy, I want to ask a question or two because I think I know my son is this way. There are people out there that manufacture too much.
Absolutely.
And I know Jacob at time he needs to go to give.
Yes.
Because it makes him feel better. I think particularly with the platelets.
Absolutely.
And they need to harvest those because, and you know, if you're manufacturing too much of part of that, and you're feeling sluggish or something like that, you might check with your doctor, have a blood test, let them take some blood, and decide what the deal is because you might feel better if you go and give blood because you're thinning your blood out.
Right.
A lot of people have thick blood.
Absolutely.
And so there's reasons that you need to do this other than compassion.
Absolutely. There are a lot of people that do have to have therapeutic blood draws. They take care of them at Blood Assurance, and they walk out of there as energetic as they want to be.
And I bet they usually have something for you to snack on, don't they?
Oh my gosh, that may be one of the negative things. There's always a soda, there's always potato chips, there's all sorts of cakes, and you know if you're dieting, that's not what you want to see.
But some people need to have that.
Just while you're there and participating, it's great.
Thank you.
You're very
It's time for us to go.
welcome.
We love having Judy on here because she's so full of knowledge and fun. So, folks, it's about it for today. Y'all come back and see us next time. And there's no telling what might happen. It's a smorgasbord of information on just plain living. Be safe out there.